Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike in the man cave of madness. It's the middle of the late evening and we're going to do an unboxing today. We're going to try to get 2 unboxings done this week. One we're going to do today is this one here. Bellum is the magazine title that it's in. It's not the name of the game. The name of the game, nope, that's not it. All'interno gioco completo. In Italian, that means inside game complete, or inside full game, or game full. So, full game inside, basically. The title is Inferno sul Isonzo Bainsizza 1917, which in English means Hell on the Isonzo Bainsizza 1917. So, this is the 11th Battle of the Isonzo during World War I, Italian, Austrian. Bainsizza is the name of the plateau, the plain, where the Italians penetrated across the Isonzo and captured that plateau. All right, so what we're going to unbox tomorrow or the next day will be the Great Northern War. This is a title that came out relatively recently. It's from CSR Games. Here, it's a Ray Weiss design. All right. And this over here is by designer Andrea Brusati. This game here is a 2023 Charles S. Roberts Award nominee in the category for World War I. That's Hell on the Isonzo, Bainsizza 1917. So let's go ahead and get inside the magazine. Okay, so here's the magazine, and inside, Bellum, this is the March 2023, Marzo 2023 issue of Bellum magazine. Here in the center, we have map, counter sheet, looks like a couple of charts. And I'm going to flip this around, set it there. Here is the rule book in the middle. So if we flip back, here we go. Page 27 it starts. Inferno sul Isonzo, Hell on the Isonzo. Going from page 27 through to, flip it around. All right, that should end. If I did it right. It ends one early. Page 36. Really not. Yeah, so unfortunately, they didn't get their pages quite right. If you take out this center part here, you're going to go this through to here, and you're going to get this, what looks like an article. Articolo storico. Here on the side. Arditi sulla Bainsizza. Arditi is army, I believe. I think. So unfortunately, yeah, if you take out the rules from the magazine, and the way you would do that is you would bend up the staples, pull the thing up. Don't rip them out. Bend carefully up the staples, pull it straight up. You won't tear the paper. But just note, you're going to take this part here with you. Now, do note, this is in Italian. The whole thing is in Italian. I do not know. I was hoping this would include a English one. So we're going to have to probably look online to find it. So our unboxing will not go into much detail. I do not speak Italian. I can parse it slightly. Sequenza di gioco, gioco being play or game. Sequence of play, sequence of the game. Pezzi in gioco, the pieces. introduzione, introduction, movimento, movement, accumulo. Now here they actually give us the English, stacking. Accumulo, accumulating in the space. Zona di controllo. Interesting that it's ZDC. Not zone of control, ZOC, but ZDC. Zone de control, something like, if you spell that. Combatimiento, procedure del combatimiento. So combat in general, the procedures of combat, risulti del, the results, efficienza di compito e perdita di livelli. Now, perditi di livelli, something about lives or step, perditi, maybe a root of perdition or something, I don't know. Recupero dell'efficienza di compito. So something about recovering from combat. Rifornimento, I'm assuming that's reinforcements. Regole particolari. Regole, that probably means rule. Particular rules. Rinforzi. So what's the difference between the rinforzi, reserve, rinforzi, the emergenza? So reinformiento versus rinforzi. I don't know. Terrena de Dioco. So terrain is part of play. Terrain. Terreno. Condizioni di vittoria. So conditions of victory. Victory conditions. Bibliografi, crediti, credits. So yeah, anyone can sort of speak Italian. I don't, but you parse it enough. And scenari, abbreviations, of course. I mean, modificatori all'ansia del dado. Is this like DRMs, diral modifiers? Modificatori all'ansia del dado. I do not know that part, but a modifier of some kind. Austro-Ungarico, so Ungarico, Hungary. Austro, so the Austro-Hungarians, etc. So, Kaiserjäger, KJ. So looking at this, since I'm in the rules now, I almost like go to the counters or the maps first, but this is kind of interesting. So we can take a look at the counters. Forza di attacco. So forza is force, I would say. So the force, the strength on attack, on defensa, movimento, capacity, your movement allowance, your capacity for movement. Piazzamento. So this is going to be probably your setup, your hex location. Piazza, your placement, I would say. Piazzamento. Dimension. So that's like your dimension, your size of your unit, right? So, brigade versus division. Well, let's see if we look up here. Let's see here. Let's move this up a little bit. I'm going to zoom in so you can enjoy this parsing with me. Brigata, reggimento, battaglioni. Dimension di unita, units, unit. All right. Tipi di unita, the types of units. Fanteria is infantry. Bersaglieri, don't know. Maybe it's artiglieri or artillery. I'm not sure if the G, if you gut it or yut it. Pesante. So I'm not sure the difference between. You can barely. Well, yeah, you can still see that. Genio Pontieri. Well, these are engineers. Pontieri, probably because they can make pontoons or bridging, I would guess. Genio, something of that root, an engineer. Montera di Assalto. So, Arditi. Now, is Arditi elite? I seem to remember it's either army, but maybe it's elite. but it's a infantry for assault. Infantry of assault. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. All right, so this is obviously mountain. Trupa de Montaña, I think you Y the G N. So, mountain troops. Trupa de Montaña, troops of the mountain, troops in the mountain. Brusati, it's not cavalry, but Brusati, do not know. That is one I am not sure of the symbol in this context. A single dot obviously is artillery. You know, could have, could be a special kind of like mortar troops, maybe. Bersaglieri, barrage, Bersaglieri, some kind of mortar troops or something. I don't know. That's my guess. If you know any Italian, you can post and comment how bad I'm doing or how good I'm. You know, the pronunciation might be bad, but parsing through these, I think I'm getting a lot of them pretty well here. Riserva, Ponte Distrutto. So yeah, definitely like a pontoon, a crossing for bridging. Ponte Distrutto, like the bridge destroyed, Distrutto. Attraversamento Fiume. No, that's not coming to me. Numero, number, informative, limitare dalle dimensioni, something about stacking limit. No. All right, so let's see if there's any more. I'm going to zoom back a little bit. I would definitely not try to play this game with me translating this way. Even though it might actually be fun to try to translate the whole thing. No. So I'm hoping there is English rules online somewhere. If not, wow, this will be tough. Get me to learn me some Italian. Attacchi sul fianco. Se cinque de. So I'm assuming cinque is 5 in Italian also. They say assagoni adiacenti alla definizione. No, not occupato. Something about units occupying. Some kind of attacchi. Nope. Not gonna do it. Okay, here's zone of controls. No attacco. Sul fianco. Why? Why can he? They're saying they must attack. You can't do this attack without including this guy, basically, probably. Same thing. Well, these two, but not him. Whereas if he was there, these two could attack. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Complemento ridotta. There's a skull. It looks like some kind of step loss or battle fatigue. Effetti dell'efficienza della combattimento ridotta. Reduction of combat efficiency. All right, that's what I'm guessing there. All right, so here we had our MLD, our Modifiche al Lancio del Dado, MLD, it's like a die roll modifier influencing the rolls. Here it is. Oh, here's an artillery thing. They don't have the normal factors this thing does. Unity di artilleria. You probably have to have it assigned to some of the unit. Here's the Genio Pontieri, the engineers. Non possono attaccare, possono assorbire. So like absorbing a loss or something? I don't know. But 0 attack, 1 defense, 4 movement. Reinformenti scarsi. Those look like some kind of supplies. Rifornimento. Out of supply. So non-rifornimento. OOS, out of supply. And so there might be some like limited supplies. LS. Scarsamente rifornita, like a limited supply -1, out of supply -2, OOS. O non rifornito, and they use the old standard out of supply English abbreviation because that's so common. Interesting. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get to, we're very close to the end here. Yes. Conditions de Vittoria. Per determinare il vincitore si calculate punta vittoria, points of victory, victory points. So PV, punta vittoria, but we would say VP, victory points. Word order and languages sometimes matters a lot, sometimes it doesn't. So depending on the language translation, it can be very freely this way, that way. Giochi, so Andrea Brusati. The reference bibliography for games. So this same designer did Inferno Sugli Altopiani, Bellum Magazine 1, and Michael Resch, which many of you are familiar with. His 1914 game, but Battle for Galicia, that's an old one. Oregon Consim. Was that an actual publication, or was that just the magazine of the Oregon Consim that had some expansion rules for a different game? But Michael Resch has done from GMT, the 1914 series. There's like 3 games, Twilight in the East, and I don't remember all the titles of them off the top of my head. But okay, so the rules aren't very long, but they're in Italian. So it's going to be very long to learn to translate them if I can't get an English copy. But not impossible. Not impossible. All right, you say, all right, man, that was fun, but no, let's get on with the goodies. Show me the goodies, buddy. Come on. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing. They are small. They are indeed like half-inch counters, maybe even slightly tad smaller, since this is, it could be some particular millimeter measurements that it's going to come out less than a half-inch, is my guess. Okay, here we've got those like step loss markers with the skulls. They are double-sided, 1s and 2s. There's like your river crossing things. There's where the bridge is destroyed. Turn. RIS, RIMP. Don't know what those are. We could look for the other side. See, we got a clue there. Rest, so replacements. Turn marker on the other side. All right, so there are definitely more Italian units than Austro-Hungarian units. The Italians did lose more casualties in those. They did push them back and take that Bainsizza plateau, but they lost. I'm trying to remember. It's the ballpark Austrians lost like about 110-ish, give or take 10, and the Italians lost about 150, give or take 10, maybe like 158,000 if I'm kind of remembering, I think, maybe. So we've got in color like unit designations, the 24th, the 27th, the 2nd, the 8th, 6th. There don't appear to be any leader units, but you probably have rules such that there's either activations by these, this many brigades, that can't be just a division. That needs to be a corps. These need to be corps. All right. Or, World War I, especially different times, different armies, different countries reorganized, and, sometimes they had to rearrange their troop organization structure from losses or from experience on the field of like, this doesn't work, So those notions of, I can't remember the exact, but whether, brigade organized versus, there was like up to, brigades and regiments, and is it a square or not a square formation, but like how many per? Is it like 2 by 2? Is it a 4 thing? Is it, so there's a whole history of how many battalions, and then are you forming regiments into brigades? Are you doing regiments and skipping brigades? Are you doing brigades and skipping regiments? Do you have both levels or not? And is it squared? Is it this many, or is it like 3 regiments making up that, and is it 2 regiments under 2 brigades making up a division, or is it just 3 regiments make a division? Or all that stuff changed a lot. World War I, and on into World War II, that different countries still hadn't yet necessarily uniformly settled on those kind of sizes, and so you really got to know what you're talking about when you're looking at a particular order of battle and the structure of the forces. So what was this number here on the side? Did we this number here, because the artillery definitely have a lot. So this might be like intrinsic artillery strength, and the dedicated artilleryans are quite high, and they don't have any other strength. So that's what I'm guessing. That is some kind of artillery strength, and I sort of missed that the first time around. For yes, valori di artiglieri. So the value of artillery value, your artillery rating. Sorescia con la rata di unità ridotta. So this is like, again, reduced step. Striscia, the stripe of color indicating the unit is reduced. All right. So in this case, they lose strength, but not the artillery strength. It wasn't enough for them to lose their artillery strength. But that might not be universally so. Now, for the most part, all of these brigades of infantry appear to be 4-5-4s, 1 artillery. You'll flip them over, and they're 1-3-4s. So Italian army, pretty much the same. All right, now these big mountain troops, 4-6-5s, flip over to 2-3-5s. Okay, you got little separate regiments here. There are some 1-2-4s and a 2-3-4, but those don't have another side. Those are 1 step loss and gone. So that's interesting. They've got a couple of these guys that are bigger, stronger, but still only have 1 step. Yep. All right. So let's move on to the map. The map. Well, let's quickly look at these. We're saving map for last, Mike. Don't do that. Meandering. So again, here we've got Inferno sull'Isonzo, Bainsizza, 1917. Hell on the Isonzo. Odds 2 dice 6. Dadi, is that plural of dice? Procedure, confronta la forza contrapposte, so opposing, contrasting, e determine il rapporto di forze iniziali. So the initial relation, the odds ratio, rapporto, your rapport, your relationship. So I'm thinking that's saying, calculate the odds. Applicate gli eventuali spostamenti della colonna di rapporto di forza. Apply something. Spostamenti, don't know. Lancia 2d6. The resulting Don't know. Okay. So there are in here one side, the other side, we're going to assume that it's the attacker. So at 1 to 3, all these bigger things are happening here. The defender's over here, and less is like an attacker. So something that affects the attacker. Now, I don't know if these numbers here is like, the R is probably retreat. A plus. Is it? You counterattack and you roll the dice again and you apply a certain modifier, but to a destra defensori trincia amica sinistra. Now, that's going to take some figuring out here. Is the R retreat? Is it rout? Is it reduce? R4, R3. So you got pluses and R's and a minus on this side. But plus, wow, what does that mean? That'll be, I'm curious. I'm looking forward to figuring this out because this is a very interesting combat results table. Get a cursor with 2 dice. You're 7 in the middle on the average. +1, -2, +1, -2, +1, -1, +1, -1, +1 on the 1.5 to 1. Actually, 1.5 to 1. Of course, notice it looks like it's actually a comma. So a number of European countries use a comma as their decimal, and they use periods as their thousands delineator. So 1,5:1 means, in English parlance, American, we say 1.5 to 1. And you have a 1 to 1.5, so which we would call, sometimes you see this as 3 to 2 to avoid the fraction, or 2 to 3 odds to avoid the fraction. Total. Cost in PM, points of movement, remember. Punto movimiento tutto, total. So, terrain, the Isonzo. You want to cross or enter the Isonzo. We haven't seen if it's in hex or hex side, but total, everything, you spend it all. Boop. Stacking, no effect. 6, 4, 2, 2. So obviously these are all hex side things here, I would guess. So you don't have any effect with stacking when you're in these. Pianura, colina, so I'm assuming some kind of plains. Bassa montagna, so mountains. Palud, don't know. Fiume e torrente, so torrent. Is this rapids, or is this like the opposite? Is it a ford? +1 extra. So that's crossing a river. So this is like a smaller river, Fiume e Torrente. It's a torrent, but it's, I don't know. It's not as big as the Isonzo, though. Don't know. Oh my God! It's in English on this side. Oh, what the heck? So this is obviously on the back of this. This is for some other game that they did, a variante, get a variant of Suda Bay. So this whole thing, this is not, this is an add-in. This is the card, and they have this side, clear, hill, low mountain, swamp, river and stream. So river and stream, that it was interesting. So river, fiume, and torrente is this like stream, which little torrent, the runoff from a torrent, a torrential rain, but it sounds worse than it is. So they're tutto. So they left this part here untranslated. It should be total. I've noticed that the other game that I looked at the other day where there was like, it had all been translated from the French into the English except for, like a half dozen words scattered throughout the rulebook where they left them in French and didn't translate them. All right, so compare the opposing strengths and determine the initial combat odds ratio. Apply any applicable odd column shift. All right. Attacker rolls 2d6, cross-runs the result on the proper odds ratio column and applies the result. Odds column, flank 2 to the right, defender in friendly trench on the left. DRMs, yep, die roll modifier, that's what those were. -1 for each odds ratio over 4 to 1. So many games like that's the max, or they just say auto eliminate if more. This is, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7, you get to roll a -1. So low is good at killing the defender. And so you actually get additional die roll modifier for 5 to 1 or more. You can push it. If you have big enough odds, you can force this. Right? No effect, plus minus. It's another die roll modifier. It's you roll on the chart. Okay, here's the loss resulting table. All right, you roll again to see the result. So retreat the number of hexes, retreat 1, retreat 2, 4, etc. Die roll modifier, modified loss, small. So the question is this the size of the opposing force or your force? The smaller or bigger you are, you take more? Or is that in total number of steps? Is that in total magnitude? Steps. Add the number of steps for both sides involved in the combat. Okay, so that's the overall. Determine the die roll modifier for each side. Attacker rolls a die 6. Each player modifies the result according to his DRM, then finds his own result. Okay, so you only roll once. Interesting. So you add up all the number of steps. Okay? You add up all the number of steps. And so both guys will be rolling in the same column, okay, here, of the magnitude of the overall battle. And you take your modifier against, are you rolling plus or minus? So rolling here, plus hurts you, big, more steps. And so if you're attacking at 1 to 3 and you roll a 12 here on this, the attacker must retreat. He's going to add 3 to his single die roll. All right. Now, how does this is a single die roll. How do you ever get to, no, so you can never get that much plus. I don't see how this is possible. Unless you're supposed to roll 2 die 6. Here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 42, 2, 2, 1, 1. See, I don't know. This seems weird here. You can normally only get at most +4. Obviously, you can get. No, yeah. You add to this die roll modifier. Well, is this die roll modifier to this die roll or to this die roll? See, that's okay. We're dwelling on that too much. We're going to need English rules for certain. It's amazing. I don't know if in this rule book here, somewhere there's buried some English rules. They're online, but this chart, thank goodness, had the English. All right. Well, enough dwelling on that, folks. Let's move on to the map. You want to see the map? I know there's someone out there, one of you guys, you're complaining. Meandering Mike, you're not doing it right. You're supposed to show the map first. I like it when the map is shown first. I'm going to gripe at you. And I've been trying to show the eye candy earlier. Sorry for that glare there. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to adjust and get rid of that or not. Or tilt it up a little bit. That sort of helps. But there, that sort of helps. Of course, then I'm jiggling around. Grahova, Idria. The F is the Fiumi, the river, the letter for F for river. Yeah, okay, I'm having problems. Flip this up. Turn over. So here they do some of the things in English. Reserve, ris, rimp. They've abbreviated that. They've shortened it. There is Gorizio. So this designer, Andrea Brusati, has done a game, Gorizia 1916. Can you see that? There, this way. Zoom in. Better do it. There, Gorizia. That's way too far in. This is better. All right. So here is the Isonzo. And wow, look at how steep, you can look at the different colored lines here, how steep some of these are here, very cliffish. Paluda, swamp. Karakachia trail. So the white dotted lines are trail. The green dotted line has to be, is that the border? I think that's the border. So these hexes, fortunately, are rather bigger than the counter. So that's nice. That is nice. I'm gonna move this back like this so we can see more of this map. Wow. Up there in the mountains. Not gonna see much action up there, I don't think. But there's so many trails here. There's so many trails. The yellow, those are trenches. Those are trenches. Quite the trench network there. Ferrovia. The black solid line is railway. Ferrovia, railway. And the white line, strada, road. So these little blue guys here are the Torrente stream. And then the thicker ones, like here, is Fiume, river. And the thickest one is the Isonzo itself. So all the way along there. But boy, that's, I can tell the Isonzo. And actually, look, you have a little T in the front. So there's a little faint name T for Torrente, the streams. But it has an F. It's Fiume, it's a river. So just look for the name if you're not sure. So let's see here. Like right here. No, that's still off the corner. Way here. This little 2x side thing here, that's a river. F, river. T, Torrente. T. Here's a river. Let's see here. Over here. That's also a T. That's weird because this is thicker. This is way thicker than these. But it says T. So if I was going by the thickness of this line, the blue color, I would say that's a Fiume. But it's labeled with a T. I think that's something I might want some clarification on. Was this intended to be a river. It's definitely the same thickness as up here with the Idria, Fiume Idria, Fiume. All right, so there we go. It's not a huge map, but it's pretty nice and colorful-ish. I mean, it's the blending of the color of the mountains. You know, you can tell. I'm not sure what the effects are of these elevation. And if you have to like count, you know, how many, if you're going from here to here, how many elevation change is that? And does that affect, you know, then it could be kind of like, how do we determine that? Or you just say, no, that's all hill or mountain. Well, basically, according to this up here, zoom. If it's any of these colors, you're in hill. All right. If you've got any of this color, you're in mountain. All right. Now, the darkest brown. So what about this? One down from the darkest. Is that mountain or hill? I think that's mountain. Because if I look at the hill thing, its color is like up to this. And so this, I think this is all mountain. And this is all part of hill between here and here, but that's mountain. That's how I'm interpreting it at the moment. All right, folks. Well, I think we've looked at this enough. This has gone on for 40 minutes. A meandering production of an unboxing of a game. 2023 Charles S. Roberts Award nominee for the World War I category. Inferno sul Isonzo, Bainsizza, 1917. That's the way it is in Board Game Geek. I just submitted an alternative title, the actual English, Hell on the Isonzo, Bainsizza, 1917. So got a pretty good rate of corrections and changes to Board Game Geek getting entered. So within a week or so, sometimes a day, but it usually takes about a week or two. That should be in there, and you should be able to search on Hell on the Isonzo and find it. All right. So, sorry, did you see anything on the back? No, so it's blank on the back. So if you are interested in this game, do note, the magazine is in Italian. The chart has an Italian and an English side. Trays. All right. As far as I know, everything in this magazine is in Italian. Dear folks, how do I get the rule book in English? I'll need to find that out. I hope it's available easily. Otherwise, I will be learning some Italian. Boom. So there it is. Let's zoom back out a little bit, or do that tilty so you can see that as I sign off. We've got the English bits, the counters. Not bad, just nice, simple counters, easy to read even at the little tiny size that they're at, but the basic numbers are nice and easy to read. It was a good font choice. The contrast is really good. The hex setups may be a little difficult for my old eyes, but you only have to do that once, get it set up, and then that's done. And the rest of the stuff's pretty easy to parse there. So it's looking nice. I'm looking forward to giving this a try at some point once I overcome the obstacle of it being in Italian. So I'm going to sign off. And What I should have done is learn how to say, take care, folks. And in Italian say, take care of your games, and they'll take care of you. So something like, con carino gyoko carino, whatever. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. So take care, everyone. Ciao.